Hi, I'm Richard and this is my behind the song video for my first single, Put It in a Postcard. This is a sad song, it's a song about a breakup, and I'm sure it's something that most people can relate to, whether that's with a friendship or with a romantic relationship. It's a song about things that I wish that I could have said to this person and a search of answers for the end of the relationship. I wanted to explore the feeling of memories that you have associated with past relationships, random flashes of brief moments. And the song's not so much that you're sad that the relationship is over, but more that you're angry about how the end of it happened. You know, how it was done with a text, something that's so impersonal and thoughtless. The point is driven home in the chorus, anything would be better than this, even something like a postcard that you would normally expect to contain good news. The song actually came to me really quickly. I was just scrolling through social media one morning, like you do, and I saw something about 100 ways to break a heart, and that sparked a line that ended up being the opening of the song. I didn't actually start writing straight away, but I had the ideas going around in my head for a couple of hours before I actually sat down with my guitar and started writing it. And the first draft then came really quickly, in about half an hour or something like that. And the main bulk of the song is pretty similar to what I came up with in that session. After that, I took the draft to my trusted writing partner, Lauren Alex Hooper, who you may remember from the Honest EP, and we had a couple of sessions to finish the song. We were doing this in the middle of the national lockdown, so all of our sessions were done online, which was a bit of a new experience for us at the time, but it's something that we've got used to, having done a few more of those in the meantime. So let's dive into the production of the track. So I actually had a pretty good idea of what I wanted with the production straight away when I came to make this track, and what I started was by building around this arpeggiated synth line that I have here on this plucked synth, which is basically just the pattern that I was playing on the guitar while I was writing it, and I translated that across onto a synth with a bit of delay and a bit of reverb. It's just a basic sine wave with some distortion on it. That's joined by some other synths like this ARP here with an EQ sweep that opens up as we're going through the pre-chorus, and this pad here. And it's just joined by a few other synths and pads and guitars that drop in and out of the song as we go along. We come up to this here, we've got a bass guitar and a couple of other bass synths, all reinforcing the line, which is joined by this guitar part here. And I didn't want to do too much with it, but still have the sense of fullness but keep it open. And another thing that I really love to do is a blend of having a vocoder and some backing vocals. So obviously we've got the vocoder right at the start of the song here. There's 100 other ways that you could break my heart. Just giving some quite nice harmonies. And then in the chorus, that's where it really comes in. So if we have a listen to that here, it just gives a different texture. I really love the texture that you get with the vocoder, and it pads it out in a way that you don't get with just a backing vocal. And then when you add in backing vocals with that, with real vocals, it just gives it a really nice all the way rounded effect. And I really love this effect, particularly around the line, there's 100 other ways that you could break my heart, just here. There's 100 other ways that you could break my heart, like with a phone call. And I think that really works well in sort of creating the texture for the song. Like with a phone call, or telling me the truth that your blue front door. So, particularly at the beginning of the song, I really like that opening line with the vocoder, and I think it's a really great way to start the track, start this EP. And it's going to, I wanted to grab people's attention, get their intrigue and get them to carry on listening. Another thing that I did, which I quite liked, which is in the drum section up here, and rather than just having a normal drum kit, which obviously I've got, obviously I've got a kick and some claps and a hi-hat and things like that, crash and a cowbell, standard drum parts. I also wanted to have something a little bit different. I went through a couple of snare sounds and a couple of clap sounds, and I couldn't find the right sound for the chorus. And I was watching a TV show
I can't remember for the life of me which one it was. And there was this chain rattle as one of the sound effects in the TV show, and that was something that I thought would really sort of fit in well with the chorus. So we've got this sound here, which is someone dropping a chain, and I know I feel like it just kind of really nicely sets off this sound in the chorus and emphasises the snare in something that's a little bit different. The end of the song sees something a little bit different. You know, it's got this chorus and hook to finish, which is quite standard. Then you've got this weird outro section where the song just does something completely different. I'd written the whole of the rest of the song and I'd said everything lyrically that I wanted to say, but I still felt like the song wasn't finished. You know, it was only just over 2 minutes long at this point. And I was talking to a few of my friends about it, and we were chatting about it, and it was actually the wonderful Jazz Beeson, who is going to feature later on in this project. She suggested having an outro section that does something different. But yeah, we get this outro section where the tone changes a little bit. And the idea for this section actually came from Mr. Blue Sky by ELO, in terms of like the way I started formatting it with that different change of tone. Obviously, sonically, it's quite different to that song, but it's another one where they go through the song and then they just have, you feel like the song's finished, and then they just have another completely weird section. And you know, I've got a couple of guitars here. It's mainly guitar based, so I've got this one with some chorus and reverb vibrato on it, playing the arpeggios. It's quite a discordant section, and then you come on with the sort of the more solo-y, rocky guitars, which is something that comes back to me as a teenager, listening to rock bands and punk bands with lots of guitars and distortion. The final thing that I wanted to put in this song is a little sound effect right at the start of the song, which, if you've listened to it, you may or may not have noticed. The song is from a project that I'm calling Mixtape Volume 1, and a lot of the aesthetic around the project is vintage. There's vinyl effects in the production, artworks and visuals were shot using 35mm film. The sound here, which is just right at the start of the song, is actually, it's the sound of someone pressing play on a cassette player. And obviously that ties in with it being a mixtape. I wanted to give the impression of someone pressing play at the start of their mixtape or at the start of their album that they're listening to. And then it runs into this vinyl crackle sound effect, which is something that's running through the whole project.
It didn't have to be a stupid text when you're making me your ex. Could have put it in a postcard. You could have put it in a postcard.